It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. This video is one of my most requested videos of all time. Whenever I look in the comments box on the videos, there's always comments, will you do like strong lagers? Because I've been doing these versus battles, maybe Lidl versus Aldi, Carlin versus Foster's. We did a Lynx strong lager, which I wasn't able to find, coincidentally, again, for this review. But yeah, in the comments I get, will you do super strength lagers? Put them up against each other. So what I've done, this is just a little kind of skim over the top, if you like, of strong lagers. This is, I've gone to the shop, I've picked up, I went to 3 off licenses, 3 corner shops, and I picked up the beers that were readily available to me. Now I know there's more out there. I know there's Tennant Super, I know there's Kestrel Super, there was that Lynx beer we did just the other day. But I just picked up what's available to me, and I'm going to just pitch them up against one another. So starting off with Carlsberg Special Brew. This beer is 7.5% ABV. It used to be 9% ABV. 440 milliliter can. Then we got Karpackie from Poland. 500 ml can. 9% ABV. And then we've got Oranjeboom 8.5% ABV. But the European lagers, they've definitely kind of stolen a march, if you like, on the British strong lagers. You don't really see Tennant Super anymore. I couldn't find it anyway. And you certainly don't see Kestrel. Kestrel Super was the one I was growing up looking at that beer thinking, my goodness me, that's strong. How do people drink that? But you just don't see it anymore. Skull Super was another one. I managed to find a can of that and I reviewed that on the channel if you wanted to take a look, but I can't find that anymore. So without further ado, no more talking, let's get the beers out into a glass and see what we get. Carlsberg Special Brew. Now this was brewed for a special occasion. Queen or the King or something. There's a reason why this beer was brewed. Bits and pieces floating around in there. Can conditioned special brew. Karpackie. This beer's from Poland. Polish beer then. Oh. It's going to be an interesting afternoon this afternoon, isn't it? Well, for me anyway. Orangeboom. This is from Holland. Oh. This is a 500 ml can, 8.5% ABV. Okay, there's the 3 beers poured. They've all kept their heads relatively well. Let's get into the special brew first. Seems to have calmed down now. All them bits and pieces have made their way to the bottom of the glass. It's a hazy looking beer, isn't it? It looks like a craft beer or something like that. Some kind of barley wine. Good levels of carbonation, nice white head. Let's get the aroma. Sweet, sweet and more sweet. It doesn't smell too bad actually. I've stuck my nose into worse beers. And I'm looking at you, Bellsbuth Extra Strong from France. Let's dive in. Okay, you get the strength. You definitely get the strength. You definitely get the alcohol. It's 7.5% ABV. It's a little bit sweet. It's a little bit syrupy. But I'm going to stand by this. I've drunk a few of these super strong lagers, and literally some of them are undrinkable. Some of them and we might have a couple here today. It might be Oranjeboom, it might be Karpackie. But the links we reviewed recently was undrinkable. But this, I mean, I've definitely had worse beers. I'm not going to stand here and say it's the best beer in the world. You definitely get that kind of lacing of alcohol, if you like. You can almost taste it's like a lacing of alcohol there. But there's some malt, there's some sweetness, and there's a little bit of bitterness from the hops. I've had worse lagers. Right, where do I go now? I'm going to do it by ABV. So 8.5% ABV for the Orangeboom. This one's lost its head a little bit quicker. I mean, if you compare that to the Carlsberg Special Brew, at least the Special Brew's got some lacing on the glass. This just looks... It looks very thin, doesn't it? The Orangeboom looks very thin. It doesn't look like the most appetising lager I've ever seen. Nice levels of carbonation though, light golden colour, aroma. Yeah, this has got more of a stinging, like an alcohol stinging aroma to it. Raw, that's the word. More of a raw alcohol aroma. With some sweet syrupy smells coming through. Let's dive in. Cheers, everyone. Oh. I wasn't expecting much. But it's a little hissy and fizzy, carbonation wise. It's definitely a bit hissy and fizzy on the palate, on the mouth. I was expecting more of that kind of raw alcohol taste, as I was saying just now, but again, it's actually not too bad. Starting to worry about myself, maybe thinking it doesn't taste too bad. Maybe if I drank it 3 or 4 years ago, I might have been like, oh God, this is awful. Why am I able to tolerate this now? That's a secondary question there. Why can I tolerate this now? And why is my brain telling me that actually this isn't too bad? Maybe I need a break from the beer. It's quite refreshing, actually. It's some malt in there, a little bit. Is a warming sensation as the beer slides down the throat into the pit of the stomach. That's that 8.5% ABV. there's some hops in there. There's some hops in the beer. Yeah, I've definitely had worse. Definitely had worse. That's very, very similar to the special brew from Carlsberg. And now to the Karpackie. Polish strong lager. It's got Pełny smaku on the back of the can. Maybe it wants to smack you around the face when you drink it. There's a look at it compared to the Orangeboom. Now this is definitely a darker looking beer, isn't it? The Karpackie. And there's a look at it compared to the special brew. Yes, definitely a darker looking beer. Maybe they've used some syrups in here to brew it. Brewing syrups as they call it. Or maybe they've used a slightly darker malt to brew it. But it's got a nice head. It's kept its head pretty decently. Good levels of carbonation. Dark amber colour, aroma. Oh yeah, now this is next level. I can smell the syrup coming out of the glass here. Syrupy sweet to help hide the alcohol. Let's dive into the Karpackie. Again, they've used a caramel. They've used a caramel syrup here. There's some bitterness. The thing with the beers there's some bitterness there to balance off that caramel. And you get that kick of alcohol that still helps to balance off that caramel. It's a burning sensation that goes down into the throat, into the pit of the stomach. But they've come a long way. There are some undrinkable, super strength lagers out there. And for me, they're undrinkable. They're kind of really badly brewed beer. But I suppose the worry is, if I'm honest, the worry is that they're actually kind of making these strong lagers now drinkable. And that's a bit of a worry, isn't it? I'm standing here as somebody who's drank over 9,000 beers, and I'm standing here. I'm not convincing myself, but I'm standing here telling you guys that actually what I'm tasting isn't the worst beers that I've ever tasted on the channel. There's no infection in the beer. There's no off flavours in the beer. Yes, it's brewed quite cheaply. There's syrups in there. But hey ho, that's the way of the world when they brew these strong lagers, isn't it? They brewed them with syrups in to be able to balance off that alcohol. So I'm going to rate them. Be interesting to go back to the Carlsberg special brew because it's 7.5%. This will probably be even more inviting now. Yeah, that's not bad. Special brew's not bad, you know. 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. Orangeboom. Little harsher now. Little harsher, the Orangeboom. 5 out of 10 for the Orangeboom. Karpackie, 9%. Yeah, that's a little bit raw as well. Interestingly, after taking 3 sips quickly of each beer, the special brew showing these other two, showing them up a bit now, actually. I'm going to say equally, yeah, 5 out of 10 for the Karpackie. So special brew wins on a 6. The other two are 5 out of 10 each. I've chosen to review these beers today because they are one of the most requested beers on the channel. Will I go out and buy these beers and drink them? No, absolutely not. Am I a little scared that I'm standing here going, actually it's not the worst beer that I've ever put in my mouth? Maybe a little. Maybe I'm kind of bending towards the needs of these strong beers a little bit. So I will watch that. But yeah, I mean, it's just a little bit of a fun video. I'm not going to tell you to go out and not buy these beers. I'm not going to tell you to go out and buy these beers. At the end of the day, it's your decision. So thanks for watching. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.